Hi, friends. I'm Lori Palau, host of the popular weekly podcast, This Organized Life, founder of Simply Be Organized, and author of the book Hot Mess, A Practical Guide to Getting Organized. For the past 7 years, we've been sharing stories, interviews, and strategies to help you live a more organized life. Whether you're struggling with physical clutter, calendar clutter, digital clutter, or just overwhelmed with the mental load of all the things, we're here to help you every step of the way. We know that one of the biggest struggles many of us face is time, and even finding the time to listen to a 45-minute long episode might not even be doable, which is why we've created this Organized Life Tip of the Week. These short episodes are designed to give you a little boost to start your week off on the right foot in under 15 minutes. This might be something that I'm doing in my personal life that I wanted to share, a tip that someone shared with me that I want to pass along to you, or maybe it might just be a prompt or story to help you think differently about the true meaning of clutter. New episodes of our Tip of the Week are automatically going to show up in your podcast feed on Mondays, and our regular long-form episodes will continue to drop each and every Thursday. Now, if you're new here, make sure to click the subscribe or follow button for instant access to all of our 300 plus past episodes. And if you're already subscribed to TOL, there's nothing that you need to do. Our bonus episodes should already be in your feed. Regardless of whether you just found us or you're one of our OG listeners, I am so happy that you're here. Now, let's get to it. Everybody, and welcome to today's Tip of the Week. I am your host, Lori Palau, and I hope that wherever and whenever you're listening to this, your week is off to a great start. And we record these episodes and release them each and every week for you to just give you a little actionable tip, advice, recommendation on ways that you can simplify and streamline your life so that you can have more impactful relationships, less clutter, less shame, less overwhelm, and just more meaning in everything that you're doing. And so today's tip is going to be, again, something relating to what I call the invisible clutter, which comes under the realm of the digital clutter. So we talk a lot about the physical clutter here, emotional clutter, calendar clutter. But then, of course, there is that digital clutter that looms over all of us. And so I want to be super specific and super granular because in and of itself, that whole topic of digital can just be overwhelming to people. And so today we're specifically talking about your phone. That's it. Just your phone. We're not talking about iPads or laptops or any other crazy devices you have, just your phone. So please think about that. So one of the things that I want, and I thought of the idea for this episode when I was looking for something on my phone, and of course I had to use the search button to find it. And it had to do with removing the apps that I no longer use. So I don't know about you, but oftentimes, well, first of all, I have my tried and true apps that I use pretty much all the time. Like I can count them on one hand, the apps that I use, whether I'm using them personally, I am using them for work or whatever, or just for fun. So for me, my go-to apps, and none of these are sponsored people. This is just it. Obviously I use my calendar, Messenger, but I don't really consider that an app. But I use like Google Calendar. I use Life 360 because I like to know where my family is. So we use Life 360 and, for work, I use a scheduling app called Acuity, and they have an app. So a lot of times if I'm answering emails or texts or whatever on my phone and I need to set up a calendar invite for a meeting, I can just go right into the Acuity app and I have that right there. So that's an app I use pretty frequently. Here, where's my phone? I have it right here. Just trying to even think. I use Evernote a bunch because that is the note-taking app. Again, not sponsored by Evernote. Happy to talk to them about a partnership. But when I go on site with clients or if I'm in a meeting and I don't have my laptop and I want to take notes, I will say, do you mind if I take notes on my phone? I don't want to be rude. I personally don't use the notes app. I like to use Evernote because it allows me to sort, and I have notebooks for different purposes. So I will reference that. So that's something that I use. And then, I do have my social media apps. Now, some people tell you that that's a time suck and they don't have their social media apps or they only have certain social media apps. That's great. I'm just letting you know the tried and true apps I have. But there are, I don't know if you guys can see it if you're on YouTube, there's probably a glare, but I have like way more than those handful of apps on my phone. And a lot of times I will test something out, whether it's personally, like I heard about it, or maybe it's a work potential partnership or sponsorship. And someone says, hey, can you check out this app? So I'll download it to just see what it's all about. And if I don't decide that this is something I want to incorporate and use, what I should do automatically is just delete that app. That doesn't always happen in a perfect world, to be totally honest and fair. And so what will happen is I will accumulate unwanted apps. And I'm sure that you probably have the same. I use folders to corral my apps. And we've done long form episodes about that to try to keep my like with like apps so that you're not like scrolling through pages of your phone to get to the app that you want. But what I would say is go through and just sit there one day and delete the unwanted apps that you no longer use. Okay. Second thing, and we've again talked about this before when it comes to distractions and productivity, is to turn off notifications. The only notifications that I have and then I can manually go in and change that is my text alert will go off and make a sound. I don't even have the bar that has like the description on it. I have it all turned off. I don't get notifications on social media. So if somebody sends me a message and if I'm not in that app, I will not automatically be able to respond because I don't know that it's there. I have to manually go in there and check it out. Same with my email. I do not have push notifications turned on. Again, we're going to talk about emails and laptops and all the things next week, just as a spoiler alert. But any notifications that you have, if you are sitting there working and every time someone comments or likes on your Instagram, you get a notification, all of a sudden it will break your train of thought. Even if you don't pick up the phone, which is really hard to do, but even if you don't pick up the phone to look at it, your neurotransmitters already been like rewired and like whatever pathway it's been interrupted. And so you can't get that back right away. Like it's not an instantaneous thing. So it breaks your continuity of whatever you were doing. So I understand if there's something important you're waiting on and you want to be checking it for it, or if you want to be like listening for your kids or whatever it is, but there are so many distractions. So to declutter that part of your life, I would highly recommend turning off notifications. And then the third thing with decluttering your phone has to do with more of what I call like housekeeping. And you could do this periodically. And that would be to go into your settings and check your storage, check your in-app purchases, make sure that you have the latest, most recent update. There's so many times where people are like, oh, I have to update my phone. And they didn't do it. Like I have mine set up so that it does it automatically when there's new updates and it does it at night. So it doesn't interrupt my usage. But a lot of times maybe we bought something once and it's now just on a recurring payment, but we don't use that app. Maybe this happened to me once with a meal subscription thing. And I had bought like a recipe thing. I don't even remember what it was, but I bought it and I was like, okay, let me do the trial and see. And then I was like, I don't really need this. But I never went in and canceled it. Those are the little things that we want to do those housekeeping. So again, you don't want to wait till you say, oh, I'm out of storage for my phone for pictures. You don't want to be like, oh, I'm somewhere where I really want to take a picture. I'm at my kid's recital and I can't take a picture or a video because I have no storage. And then you're feverishly deleting. So go in and check it periodically. So again, your 3 tips for decluttering your phone are delete any unused apps, turn off your notifications, and do some housekeeping, which includes checking your storage, any in-app purchases, and making sure that your phone is up to date. So there you have it, folks. If you like this episode, please do us a favor and share it. It costs you nothing at all to share it. We love being able to bring you guys free content. We don't charge for anything. People have told me all the time, why aren't you charging for these tips of the week? You should be charging behind a paywall. I don't want to do that. I want to be able to give you guys as much free content as I possibly can. And what I'm asking is please just like our show, share it, follow us on YouTube. All of these little breadcrumbs that you're dropping all adds up for content creators like myself. So please, that's the best repayment that you can give us, is to like, follow, review, and share our show. That's it. That's all we need. So thank you so much. Again, I'm Lori Palau, and until next week, have a great one. Peace out. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this episode, please spread the love and share it with your friends. And if this is your first time joining us, make sure to click the subscribe button wherever you are listening so you never miss an episode. And while you're there, please leave us a review so other people know that our show is worth the listen. You can also find us on YouTube and Instagram at This Organized Life Podcast. And if you'd like to connect with us, you can head on over to our website at simply the letter B like boy organized.com, which is filled with tons of resources, including free downloads, checklists, links to our amazing organizing partners, and all of our digital offerings. I'll see you next week for another episode of This Organized Life.